The world of game development is filled with choices. Unity, Unreal, and countless others compete for your attention. But there is one underdog that has been rising fast: Godot. And today, we're diving into the top 10 reasons why you have to use Godot game engine. By the end of this video, you might just find yourself switching engines. Reason 10. It's completely free and open source. You've heard it a lot before. Godot is free. But what does that actually mean? Unlike other engines that hide their best feature behind paywalls, Godot gives you everything upfront. No subscriptions, no free until you succeed models. You make a game, you own it 100%. That alone makes it the perfect choice for indie developers, hobbyists, and even small studios. Being open source means you can actually peek under the hood, modify the engine if needed, and truly understand how everything works. This level of transparency is rare in the game development world, and it's one of the things that makes Godot special. Reason 9. Lightweight and fast. How big do you think a modern game engine should be? Unity's install size? Several gigabytes. Unreal even more. Godot? Around 50 megabytes. That's right, the entire engine is smaller than some of the textures in AAA games. It's insanely lightweight, which means it runs smoothly on lower-end PCs, making game development more accessible to everyone. The editor opens in seconds, projects load quickly, and you can have multiple instances running without your computer breaking a sweat. This efficiency isn't about size, it's about respecting your hardware and your time. Reason 8. Super beginner friendly. If you are new to game development, Godot is one of the easiest engines to pick up. Unlike Unity, which forces you to use C# or Unreal Engine, which mainly relies on C++, Godot introduces GDScript, a simple Python-like language that makes scripting intuitive. The syntax is clean, the documentation is clear, and you can start creating games with just a few lines of code. And if you are an experienced developer, you can still use C#, C++, or even Visual Script. The flexibility is amazing. You are not locked into one way of doing things. You can choose the tools that work best for you. Reason 7. Powerful 3D engine. If you're making a 2D game, Godot is hands down one of the best choices out there. Unlike other engines that thread 2D as an afterthought, Godot has a dedicated 2D renderer, no unnecessary 3D overhead, no worried workarounds, just a smooth, optimized, and efficient 2D workflow perfect for platformers, pixel art games, or anything else 2D. The built-in animation system is incredibly powerful, the tilemap editor is intuitive, and features like pixel-perfect collision detection just work out of the box. Creating smooth animations, handling sprite management, and setting up complex 2D scenes feels natural and straightforward. Reason 6. A unique node system. Godot's node-based structure is something that confuses beginners at first, but once you get it, it's game-changing. Instead of a messy component-based system, everything in Godot is built from nodes, which makes organizing your projects much easier. Need an enemy? Create an enemy node. Need a player? Make a player node. It keeps everything modular, flexible, and easier to debug. Think of it like building with Lego blocks. Each node serves a specific purpose, and you can combine them in countless ways. This modular approach makes it easy to reuse code, share scenes between projects, and maintain clean, organized game architecture. Reason 5. Cross-platform development made easy. Want your game on PC, mobile, web, consoles? Godot has you covered. It explores to Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, and HTML5 without extra hassle. And while console support requires some extra steps, indie developers can still get their games onto PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch with some effort. The export process is straightforward. A few clicks and your game is ready for different platforms. You don't need to rewrite code or create platform-specific versions. The engine handles most of the heavy lifting, letting you focus on making your game awesome. Reason 4. No corporate shenanigans. Unlike Unity or Unreal, which are controlled by massive corporations, Godot is run by the community. No sudden pricing changes, no weird licensing restrictions, just an open source engine that evolves based on what developers actually need. Recent events in the industry have shown how important this independence is. When other engines make controversial changes, Godot remains stable and community-focused. The development roadmap is transparent. Decisions are made with developers in mind, and the future of the engine isn't tied to corporate profits. Reason 3. Growing Asset Library. While Godot's asset store might not be as massive as Unity's, it's growing rapidly and has something special: genuine community involvement. Because the engine is open source, developers can create and share plugins that deeply integrate with the engine. There are no locked features or proprietary restrictions. The assets available range from simple scripts to complete game templates, and many are free or very reasonably priced. The quality keeps improving as more developers join the ecosystem and share their work. Reason 2. Tiny hardware requirements. If you've ever tried running Unity on a low-end laptop, you know the struggle. Godot runs on almost anything. You don't need a powerful GPU, and it doesn't drain your RAM. That means faster load times, quicker iteration, and fewer crashes. This accessibility is huge for students, hobbyists, or anyone just getting started with game development. You don't need an expensive setup to start creating games. Reason 1. The community and future potential. This might be the biggest reason of all. Godot's community is one of the most passionate and dedicated in game development. There is constant development, major improvements every year, and a strong push to make Godot the ultimate indie engine. The best part? You can be part of shaping its future. The community is incredibly welcome to newcomers. Whether you need help with a bug, advice on game design, or just want to share your progress, the engine is evolving rapidly with improved 3D capabilities, better shader support, enhanced networking features, and more optimized options coming in each release. Watch this video to discover how to start making games from scratch.